Y'all, these last couple of months, they've been a deal. I feel like life has been very go, go, go lately, and there's a lot of stuff that I haven't had a chance to share with you yet. So grab some tea or a sketchbook and let's hang out. Let's have a little art date. So the last few videos were kind of smushed into one series as a beginner's guide to getting started with gouache, but during that time, there have been a lot of developments in my personal art and in my career. All very exciting things, but I don't know, everything's kind of just been all at once. So I guess we'll start with the career part. Over the course of about 2 weeks or so, I was contacted by multiple people that were interested in commissions, as well as the art brands Spectrum Noir and Mossery wanting to send me some of their products. My Instagram has really started to gain some momentum, and so has my YouTube channel. I've been getting a lot of Etsy orders, and it's been a little intense, I'm not gonna lie. It's all very exciting, and it's what I've wanted, but I just wasn't really expecting all of it to come in one fell swoop. I have this horrible tendency to say yes to too many things, and I really didn't want that to happen with this. Being sponsored by brands is kind of a big deal for me, and they're counting on me to fulfill my end of the bargain. And commissions require a ton of back and forth with a client and a lot of planning. I was already working full-time on personal art projects like the Scene Studies Challenge, and I knew adding all these other things would be a completely unmanageable workload. So I had to really start thinking about my priorities and figure out what was going to get set to the side. We talk a lot on this channel about living a slower life and not giving into the rat race, really just enjoying working on art and not getting burnt out by it. So after a lot of thinking and planning, I decided to take a bit of a break from the scene studies, take a couple of commissions, and really just give these brand deals my best effort. My goal and my hope are still to finish all 100 scene studies by the end of the year, but I've come to terms with the fact that if that doesn't happen, I'm gonna be okay with it. I'm making time for what is most important to me with my art and with my career as an artist. So all that being said, I said yes to Spectrum and Mossery, yes to the commission. The other ones ended up falling through, which honestly, in light of everything that is going on, I'm okay with that. It worked out for the best. The commission was great, the client was so much fun to work with, and I really loved how the painting turned out. So fast forward a little bit, the sketchbook from Mossery arrives, and to be completely honest, I had a little bit of a meltdown. I've been working so much on these scene studies and on studies of other artists and on anatomy studies that I felt like I had completely lost my own imagination. I would sit down to try to sketch and just crickets. There's nothing going on up there. I felt like I couldn't draw anything without a reference, that every character I tried to draw looked like someone else's style, and that I was just plumb out of ideas. And this cycle went on for days, and I felt absolutely defeated. These big brands were finally starting to notice me, and I felt like an absolute fraud. I was just sitting there staring at this sketchbook, really just heartbroken. So I asked myself,
what do you do when you have nothing else? What's your go-to thing to draw that's just yours?
So that's when I remembered my little plushy forest characters, Bits and Bobbles. And let me tell you, the floodgates opened and I had an imagination again. I just sketched them doing what they do. Bobbles sitting out in the sun drinking a juice box, and Bits just watering her plants. I even finally worked out the idea that I was trying to attempt in my failing as an artist video. I realized I had been making such an effort to find balance between my career and my life, but I had completely neglected to find balance between my career and my creativity. I had been pushing so hard through the scene studies and anatomy studies and making products and making Instagram-worthy art that I just hadn't made time to have fun anymore and just play around in my sketchbook. I wasn't giving myself any kind of space to fail and to explore. I didn't let myself create anything outside of what my audience was already used to seeing. Everything had to have a very tangible purpose beyond simply just having fun. And that is a very dangerous mindset to have as an artist. Honestly, not even dangerous, I think detrimental would probably be the better term here. So, I had uncovered this lack of creative balance, but I had also just committed myself to making content with these new supplies, and there's absolutely no way I can back out of that. But then I remembered that they've sent me these products to do what I want with them. I literally have the creative license to do whatever. I also had just carved out an immense amount of time for these brand deals, and I could use that to just play around in this sketchbook. Yes, I'm still technically making a deliverable because this art's going to be posted on Instagram, but I've made the conscious choice to share that art, whatever it looks like. Maybe it's an absolute failure, but I'm going to post it anyways and just laugh it off. I really just want to have fun and not worry about the end result. So the first full spread I made in the Mosseri sketchbook was inspired by my new mantra of seeing the good. Did it come out 100% as I envisioned? No. But I got to just play around with any art supply I wanted to use and create from my own imagination. I'm absolute trash at lettering, but I love doing it, so you bet I lettered on that spread. I brought out my markers, my dip pen, my watercolors. I made a mess, and it was absolutely delightful. So the following week, I learned the differences between jams and jellies, marmalades, and preserves. So of course, I wanted to paint jam jars. I now have an entire page in my sketchbook filled to the brim with jars and fruits and breads and biscuits with jam. Anything my little heart wanted to paint, I painted. I got to just paint simply for fun. And again, because I had committed to Mosseri to post this stuff, I did. And I didn't worry about anyone looking at this sketchbook page and thinking,
well, that's not a scene study, or those aren't full illustrations,
or
why in the world did she just paint jam all day?
I just posted it and went about my business, thinking of what I wanted to paint next. Maybe more jam, I don't know, we'll see. And you know what? There wasn't a single negative comment about this spread. In fact, that page and the work in progress shots of it are some of my most popular posts on Instagram. And I think I figured out why. Because while it's not something that I've ever painted and shared previously, it is 100% authentically me. It was just me seeing the good in something as simple as jams and jellies and painting them purely out of fun. I think when you're passionate about something and have fun doing it, that kind of enthusiasm is noticeable and contagious to anybody who sees it. So I think I've finally started to break out of this purpose mindset and really embrace the play mindset. Lately, I haven't really been as into drawing people or full scene illustrations, so I don't. I'm not gonna force myself to draw something just because it's worked for me in the past. I want to really embrace this opportunity to just play and explore in my sketchbook and draw whatever interests me. I don't really know what that's going to look like, but I think it's going to be fun. I'm still doing a few scene studies here and there when I have the time, but I'm not going to pressure myself to do all the things. I really just want to focus on finding a creative balance. So let's chat a little bit about this painting, shall we? This is a scene from Howl's Moving Castle for the shop's theme. I really love Letty's sweet shop and all of the little sweets and items on the shelves. I've gotten more playful throughout the Scene Studies challenge, and I really wanted to try to simplify the crowd of gentleman callers surrounding Letty. I wanted to break them down into their basic shapes and shadows and really focus more on my brushwork. I had a lot of fun with the hair shapes, just trying to keep them within 2 or 3 values. I think my favorite part of this painting has to be the gumball machine. I loved getting to paint the gold medal, and the base of the machine was just magical. I loved all the different colored highlights. It was a ton of fun. So what else has been going on? So I'm working on the art school at home video, kind of just getting my thoughts organized for that, or honestly, as organized as anything is when it comes out of my brain. I'm also working on another sketchbook tour video, so hopefully that'll be up here pretty soon. Another exciting piece of news, The prints for round 2 of the art arena are now up on my Etsy shop. Pretty sure this is my favorite print that I've ever had done. They turned out so nice, and the colors they're just fantastic. I think I have about 10 or so of them up in my Etsy shop, ready to be adopted. So if you want one, links down in the description. Also putting a couple of freebie stickers in each order. Other than that, I think that's about it. I got to see my sister for the first time in 3 whole months over the weekend, so that was very exciting. I'm also going to be spending a week with her in September, which I anticipate is going to be pretty chaotic and very fun.
Ghibli movie marathon!
Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed catching up with me and watching me paint this house moving castle study. I would love to hear how you're doing and if you have any big end of summer plans. Fall is almost here, and guys, I'm ready for spoopy season. Best time of the year. The weather's finally starting to chill out a bit. Guys, I'm ready to see those beautiful fall leaves on the ground. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys!